We very rarely discuss careers. I got on the phone to my dad in tears and went, Dad, I can't do this now. Give me till September to try and get somewhere with it. I'm aware that my channel should probably be bigger than it is. I never really enjoyed being on stage. I didn't know who I was. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be famous. If you have a bad gig, that just comes back to me. That's like, that they don't like you. It became so personal. I need to be liked and laughed at. I think that's what the nerves got to me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Process. This is like a mini process, or a proc if you will. Me and him and Stephen tries pop round for a Coke Zero. Really casual. Very casual. Yeah. And we're going to do great stories. This time with Stephen tries in a second. But I thought I'd just take the opportunity to get the views in. Yeah. Because get that mug on the thumbnail. There'll be many of you. Mug is, that's London slang, don't worry about it. To talk about maybe comedy for a sec.
Of course, yeah.
Because despite I'm sure there's loads of like harrowing, deep stuff. It's like
divorce.
On like EastEnders and stuff, and like things that you've seen, like sad films that you've seen, like really difficult stuff. I think the thing that people have asked when I've gone, who do you want on The Process and what do you want to talk about, is you and comedy. Yeah. And you got a degree in it, haven't you?
I have, yeah. It's the strangest degree, I think.
We were talking before we started filming about university, the degrees that you do. Right. So I did sport development with coaching. Yeah. Yeah, which is it's meaningful if you actually understand what it is. But if you're not going to follow down that road, then really, you've probably let yourself down there a little bit, if you know what I mean. I'm probably being harsh, people are going to get annoyed about that, I don't know. Actually, probably not that many people. But do you feel funny about having that as your degree?
Not now. When I was studying it, I thought, this sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But now that it's my job, I think it sort of validates.
Is that a relief?
Yeah. Because I was like, as soon as I got the degree, I thought to myself, just try and get a job within the sort of realm of comedy, writing and performance.
So when you're in that degree, when you're doing that degree, how many comedy degrees are there knocking about?
There was 2, now there's 1. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
Wasn't funny enough.
Max was in Southampton, he was doing it.
Right. You didn't go to the same uni as Max?
Well, no, he went to there for a year.
Right.
Found the people on that course, which is so weird, so he dropped out. Then came to Salford, and I think they've stopped doing it in Southampton now. Right. I think. And then he found our course. You know, it was full of a lot more normal people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice stuff. So when you were doing it, was there kind of an understanding of there's about 10 or so jobs that you can do?
Not really. No. We very rarely discuss careers. It was.
What's the first lecture? What's the introduction? What are they going? Do you know what I mean? Like, so for us, right? So when I did it, they were going, right, you've got this. The Olympics are on the horizon. Like, there's a lot of money going into sport now. There's this sort of the whole thing about there's a big thing about like 10,000 hours and that being important. So when you're coaching kids and all this stuff, so there's like elite stuff there, and then there's like mass participation in sport as well. So there were like things that. And government kind of initiatives and stuff that were like there. So it's like, do this course, make sure you know about this, and then there'll be these jobs. Yeah. So for a comedy course, does any of that exist? What's the introduction?
Not really. The introduction we got was we were told to go to the drama building, which we did. Then some people, I think they were pretending they were from maybe like the early 20th century. So they were playing characters.
They literally were doing that. Okay.
Yeah, they were students, and then a guy came in.
Ruffles.
It was bizarre. It was the guy came in, and he was an older gentleman, and he was I don't know what his name was, Mr. Whistle or something like that. Right. And instead of talking to us about the course, they sent us on some sort of bizarre, like, chase around the building to get to know the building, I guess. That was their introduction.
Was that a joke?
We'd hope so. And then it turns out this really strange bloke who's just annoying everyone is actually one of the course leaders.
Right.
And I was like, oh, is this what I've come into?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just like a joke. Like, it's ridiculous. And then the first lesson I had with him, it was the Thursday and I'd started on the Monday. Got to the break and I got on the phone to my dad in tears and went,
really?
I don't think I can do
emotion, brilliant.
So I can't do this, Dad. Not after the divorce. And he was like, just try and give it like a bit more time.
Yeah.
But there was just.
But so and the feeling of like this isn't right.
Yeah.
Was that because of you were like, I'm wasting time here?
Wasting time, and I think we were the first year. It was $9,000 a year. We were either the first or second year, so that was a big deal to everyone. Everyone was constantly going,
yeah,
$9,000 a year for this, and I think what I believed I was going to do was write comedy and just learn how to become a stand-up comedian, because that was all I wanted to do. But this was just like, it seemed very much like a drama course in terms of act like a cat, do different things as a cat, and I was just like, I'm on all fours here. And this 4-year-old man is just not to be trusted.
So is there that? Were you aware of like things like, you know, like Blackadder and like Cambridge? At Cambridge, there's a lot of like Stephen Fry and all those guys coming through and like having that society where they all like create all this stuff and then they go on and dominate. Like, is that what you were hoping for?
A little bit. Because what I got told was I'd made my options for university, and then my dad he sent me a link to Peter Kay is starting up this comedy course, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, for a university degree, I want to do comedy, so I could just completely focus on that.
Yeah.
Turns out Peter Kay had very little to do with it. He was there apparently for this opening day to launch the course, because he was a former Salford student.
Right.
Then he was there at my graduation, and I thought, oh, he's gonna at least shake our hands and say well done. No, he was getting an honorary degree, so he was just there. Yeah. Well done, Pete.
Yeah.
And then, because it's in Salford, they've got Media City now.
Yeah.
And so whenever you looked on the course, in the background it'd just be Media City lit up, and it'd be like the BBC, ITV. They just throw that in your face.
Yeah.
That's all you hear about. They're going on about all these opportunities. The first opportunity we got was with the BBC, apparently. It was near Halloween, so it was going to be a comedy tram. So a tram full of BBC employees.
Is a tramp there?
No. New comedy character.
It's a good concept. Think about it.
So Max got their own now. And it was this tram full of the employees. Basically, they'd stop at the tram stop, and we'd then perform for them. And I was sceptical at this point. It then became clear that we were going to perform Michael Jackson's Thriller and be zombies.
So a bit like James Corden's thing. Have you seen that? James Corden's it's called like High. It's like,
oh, where they cross the road.
Yeah.
A
bit like that.
But this was before James Corden. He must have been on the tram. But it was just like, this is our big opportunity. There's stand-up comedians on the tram, so they were performing.
Yeah.
We just looked so bizarre outside, just so weird. And then it even became the case that it wasn't BBC employees, it was Media City employees, and there's a harvester at Media City, so there's like waitresses and waiters on there. They're not looking to me to give me a big shot. They're not going, he's really good at dancing, that man.
Yeah.
So it was just a case of lost hope, basically, over the years. But that's on one hand. On the other hand, what I didn't realise was we had all this equipment to make our own stuff. We had so much free time, and people on the course should be like-minded. And it wasn't until pretty much the last month of third year I went, oh, we should have been using the cameras to make sketches. And I was like, oh, I can't believe we've wasted all this. But
did you realise?
We did the Stormzy video and the Really Good Guys, the F2 Freestylers parody. So we got those two done, and that sort of set us on the way.
So with the sketches then, let's get into all that. That Stormzy one.
Yeah.
So I think certain people chat to Will before, and Will's so driven, isn't he? That he knew he wanted to do it and he wanted to be good at it, and it was important that he was successful at it.
Yeah.
Did you have that feeling that a lot of people, when they get to the third year, or if they're finishing college and not going to go to uni, they're like, okay, you sort of start to focus up a bit and you go, right, we need to do something here. Did you? Obviously, you're never going to imagine the Stormzy one's going to bang like it does, but were you like, okay, right, I need to find a platform and something to kind of get stuff out there?
I'd been doing stand-up since the start of first year, and I'd done quite well with that. I was like a young prospect with it. Like there was the Comedy Store in London had me on like a decent spot that up and coming comedians would want to be on. So I had that, and then I was sort of becoming disinterested as I was doing the same stuff, and it just realised it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And our last project, what most people would be a dissertation, we did I think it was called a PRP. So we made a project, and it was a sketch show. So we did all sort of TV parodies, and then we did a big showcase, and the audience seemed to really like it. So I was like, oh, we could just put this on YouTube then. I thought, well, my channel has been sort of left for ages, and before that it was just challenge videos with my mate. So I thought, well, I can't just put a sketch show up with no, sort of showing that it's going to be a comedy channel. And then I thought, right, we'll make a quick sketch, put that up, and people go, oh, it's a comedy channel.
Right.
So then I thought, I'll just do a Stormzy parody. I'd bought the jacket because I liked it, and then I thought, oh, I've got the outfit, it's so we did that, put it up, and then I was looking at it, I was like, this is better than our sketch show. So I told Tom, and I was like, what we've just done is way better than the sketches. He was like, no way. And then it was up for about 2 months, and I think it had 1,000 views.
Right. And that was uni students, really?
Yeah.
Mates, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was in Cavos, and someone messaged me saying, oh, your video's on, I put it on Facebook, it's got 200,000 views. And I just thought, oh, they're making that up. And then uni lad messaged me saying, can we share this video? I was like, yeah. And I'd sent it to Lad Bible already because that's that tragic. So they had it. So it got posted, and I was very fortunate. I'd scheduled a video to go out, I think, the day after or something. So
right.
That started to grow, and then my YouTube channel had another video to go out anyway. So from there I gained about 3,000, and then I was just thinking to myself, I'd done about 2 months of sketches, and I was really trying to be make as a YouTuber. And I'd said to my parents, give me till September to try and get somewhere with it.
Right. What time? What month's this then? If you
so we're
till September.
July now.
Right.
And so it was finish uni May, and then made a few videos. They just went, okay, you can try it. And then July, it sort of was a show. It showed some promise there, and then I just built on that.
Because I think a lot of people so in my world, Craig, Craig, our editor.
Yeah.
He loved you really early doors. I reckon you might have been on about 12,000 or something like that when I'd spotted you.
Yeah.
And because Chris Pajak from Red Men TV,
yeah.
he was obsessed with you as well.
Yeah.
But then it did. What I find mad is, especially being a producer in football, is often tags and things are important.
Yeah.
And do you give a fuck about tags? Do you do anything like that?
I used to try, then I realised my tags would get the video demonetised.
Right.
Because so I've just sort of, it's the same stuff every time now. It's comedy video, Stephen tries how to be, and that's...
But the good thing about that is, I think the engagement of the subscribers that you get is a lot more kind of authentic than other people, because they found you via word of mouth or stumbled across it somehow and then have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I find that amazing about your rise, is that and it must make you feel good, is that it is about quality. Or
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're obviously making people laugh. Because the tags are shit.
Yeah. I'm aware that my channel should probably be bigger than it is, but it's down to my lack of videos and lack of care when it comes to. At no point in my video will I say, "Oh, please subscribe," or I just think I just try to make it something that stands on its own as a video. Like it could, like anyone could sort of watch it. So I sort of treat it like not an art piece, but you know, I don't want it to be interrupted at all. Yeah,
I think as well. Do you probably feel a bit more comfortable with that because, like you're talking about with the degree, and I was saying again before we started talking on air or whatever on the camera, on air wanker. I was gonna do theatre and all that stuff, and then I hit an age and I just got really aware or like self-conscious, and I wonder if that was the same thing for you, that like it's almost. As long as it's not, you're almost if you go silly enough, not silly enough, but do you know what I mean? If you go far enough, then you can be comfortable there because of course you're joking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think if people thought you were taking yourself seriously, you'd feel uncomfortable. And I wonder if on that course you had people who were taking themselves maybe a bit too seriously, or the thing felt a bit too amdram.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel right.
There was I think weirdly that the course leader, well, one of them, he has a doctorate in clowning, so it was like he was so passionate about clowning to the point where it was just
too much.
Yeah, it was just he'd go into depth about how you need to trip over and look back at the spot you tripped on, and he just ruined that for me.
Yeah.
But there was. My course was very strange. I mean, I think for the most part, people didn't take themselves seriously. There's one course where everyone tried to be deadly serious, and I just despised it because they were, I don't know. I just like taking the piss, I think, and we were doing like a video project, and it was a parody of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and people were just like on about this schedule and doing everything precise, and it just. Like you see people differently, and like, oh, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I just rather mess about, really.
So when it comes to writing comedy, you've done stand up and you've done sketches.
Yeah.
So first of all, what's the difference between those two in terms of like the writing process? Because people probably won't know that. People might think that some of your stuff is improvised, but it is really well scripted. The sketches in particular, obviously the stand-up naturally will be as well.
Yeah.
What's the difference in your thinking when you're writing stand-up or when you're doing a sketch?
I think I find sketches far easier to write because they're having different characters. When it's stand-up, it's just myself, my character, and I don't even know who that character was back then. And then with sketches,
how would you describe that character?
My stand-up
character. So it wasn't you. You were being. Was it you dialed up or?
It was me dialed up, yeah. But it was also. I was quite young. I hadn't thought it through. I jumped in at the deep end. I had some jokes, but I didn't.
Did you have some like X Factor? They talk about you've developed a few bad habits. So like I think I had it as a presenter when I came to do online stuff.
Yeah.
I'd watched too much TV and I was like talking like a TV presenter. Were you like talking like doing stand up things? Like,
when I was doing stand up, I'd got to the point where I'd had like my set, but I'd learned it completely like a monologue, so that it was just like I was just talking.
Right, you weren't feeling it.
Yeah, so that was a big problem for me. And if people heckled me, I'd have in my head a heckle put down, so I'd be ready with that. But it was just robotic. It was like someone shouts something, go with that. And I never really enjoyed being on stage. I enjoyed it when they were laughing, but it was. I didn't know who I was, so I was telling these jokes, but I couldn't really ad lib because like what does this person say?
Right. Is that because as well with stand up there's this sort of, you've got the stage, haven't you? So you should be someone who's got something to say. Do you know what I mean? You should have that opinion or that feeling on the world or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a YouTuber I really like, a guy called Sneeko, and he's getting into stand up now, and the videos that he was making for a long time were pieces where he's basically just getting out these kind of streams of thought. So when he started I can see him trying to do stand up now. I'm like, I totally understand it. I don't think everyone's like that. Some people are a bit more like chilled out with things. Is that where you were at? Or you were just 18 or whatever it was. And you
I was young. I knew how to write a joke, but I didn't know. Like I needed to create a character, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I wish I had, because for me it was. I don't know, I think I wanted to be successful, I wanted to be famous. I didn't want to have a stage name because I wanted people to know it was me. So it was a bit of an ego thing. But the problem with doing that is if you have a bad gig or someone says they don't like your act, like that just comes back to me. That's that they don't like you. So it became so personal, and my need to be liked and laughed at, I think that's what like the nerves got to me so much more.
I think there's a nice feeling about going, and that's a nice thing about YouTube, is it allows you to have a tiny bit more distance, because you can make something, put it out there, go away, go away, and like comments, if they're like nice, then great. If they're not, you can go, well, you must be miserable then. And, like, if you're fine, you kind of leave it. That's the torture of stand up, I would guess, is how fucking you are right in the embers of it, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think because I look so young, people didn't really heckle me.
Right.
So I got away with it. But I've seen some people just get cut down on stage when they're just trying to learn and grow on the job. And it's hard to see.
Would you get back to it?
I think so. If I worked out what I was going to be, or like had a character, and there is something like special about the feeling of a gig going well. It's lovely, but when I did it, it was my be all and end all. Like I was at university, I needed a career, and that was my sort of only way out as I saw it. Whereas now I've got the sketches, I can sort of prove myself there ish. So if I did stand up, it would be nice to try and just try something different. I think it is two different mindsets with stand up. You have to for me, I'm like joke. So it's very intense.
I guess is where it's so much broader with a sketch, is you can go to a place. Yeah. Like, you know, the same 6 venues that you always go to. No one's really thinking you've gone to Buckingham Palace or wherever it is. They're going along with you. Yeah. But for you, I guess, I'm guessing there's that bit more of a landscape for you to kind of go to different places and create different characters and do different things, right?
Also with stand-up, I think I ran out of steam very quickly because I was 20, and so I've lived a very safe life. Lived in St Helens. There's only so many jokes you can make about that place.
Yeah, you need material there.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of actually living in life experiences, I'd not done anything, especially females, you know. So that could be a big part of relatable comedy for people. Like couples on a night out, they go to watch stand-up comedy. They don't want to hear me talking about, you know, they're getting caught wanking.
So with the sketches, if you sit down to write a sketch, what's your thought process? How do you begin it? How do you structure it?
It's usually I'll have an idea, like just I've not done this for a while, but I'll have something. Well, I used to have something to parody. I did a lot of how to be's, and that sets you up it gives you a structure. Whereas with what's the last sketch I did? I did a house party sketch, and that was just me sort of thinking of. It's almost like just write party and then mind map a few things off it. What can happen? Yeah. So that's how I'll do it, and I'll see if I can get a couple of areas and then sort of just work it together. But in terms of ideas, it is often I'll watch something and I'll want to parody that a little bit. Like I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a bit, then I did a sort of like a police sketch, just because it, like, although I'm not experiencing it in real life,
Yeah.
it's influenced me enough through that to sort of want to do it.
Do you do this? I do this thing where I'll watch TV and be at the news or whatever, and then I like finish their sentence with something far more random just to kind of like entertain myself. That's just me. So like, I don't know, like you'll be something serious. I'll almost turn what I'm watching into a sketch because there'll be like there's a thing that you shouldn't say right now that could be a punchline, and I'll just say it out loud for myself. Just me. Okay, just me. I'm just being curious.
Sounds fun though.
You should do it. It's wicked. It's really good fun. And what about the writing of a joke then? So I think you different people have different like styles.
Yeah.
What's your style?
Ooh.
I'd say, is there a style of comedy that you just can't do? And is there a style, and then what is your style of comedy?
In terms of can't do, I don't know. Not in a cocky way. I've just never thought about it. Yeah. In terms of my style, I like to think I'm quick-witted. That's dwindling, but I used to think I was. So Lee Mack, his sort of style. It's sort of like the quick lines.
Yeah.
I like that. If they say something, pick up on a bit of their line, twist it. I like wordplay. I overdo it, but I enjoy that. I also like. I'm nowhere near as good as him, but Kevin Bridges, the way he can latch onto something and sort of just take it out of context a bit, think of it in a different way. Yeah. Like with he's got a bit about Bruno Mars, his song Grenade. He's like, if you happen to catch a grenade for a girl, they can't be that good.
Yeah. You've said we've chatted about comedians before. Kevin Bridges is one you always bring up.
Yeah.
And you just like his. Is it his style, his delivery?
Yeah,
what is it?
His delivery's amazing. Like he just doesn't give a shit.
He's quite he's kind of deadpan and kind of mischievous.
Yeah,
like at the same time.
It's like he's not. It's just this Scottish, and it's perfect for his style because he's like you say with the deadpan. He can just say no, but the way he goes no, he can just it's just brilliant.
Yeah, that's so true. But who else do that?
Kevin Bridges. In terms of stand-up comedians, I've not watched any for a while because I think it makes me feel bad that I'm not doing it and I should be doing it. Yeah. I used to watch Kevin Bridges, Lee Mack. Two white men.
Yeah. The whiter the better.
Who did I used to watch? I genuinely can't think.
Don't worry.
I've really not. I've not been into American comedy.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. I got it with the Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
But he's kind of done that. Like the comedy rules I love that like when you come back to something later down the line.
Cool,
and if you haven't seen his Netflix, there's this joke about Bill Cosby. And it's just like he planted it. I think that's the most beautiful stand up is when they plant something. It's a whole bit that was funny, and then they're able to come back to it later on. The kind of craft of that is insane. What are your plans for like? So you've got to go with stand up stuff.
Steve Coogan.
There we go. There we go. Do I actually cover it? I thought I was walking here and I thought, oh my god, he's turned into Alan Partridge because I saw a premiere in. I mean, because I've been here before. I was like, oh fuck, he's calling it his own place and he's living in it.
It's a travel time.
Thank God. So the sketches been going for a while.
Yeah.
Do you like?
There's nothing wrong with getting shit checked.
No. There's nothing wrong with carrying on with that. But do you? What you like? You said earlier. That was the thing I was surprised by. You said, you wanted to be famous.
I did when I was younger.
How do you feel after you've had like a little?
Now I've had my big slice of fame. I don't want any more. I say, mother, put it back in the fridge. I think it was a weird.
It's funny, innit?
Yeah, the want to be recognised. that soon goes, but the want to be in the public eye, that's still there.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think, I don't know.
What would you like? What would be the dream thing that you would want to do? Is it does your mind go to? So when I ask that question, does your mind go to? Does it go back to stand up and all those amazing things, like your own Netflix thing or whatever, or do you go to a sitcom, or do you go to writing a film, or where does your mind go?
I think a sitcom would be like a big thing for me. I weirdly got an email the other week from.
No,
they won't return them for me.
Yeah.
I think it was a woman who said she used to work for Steve Coogan as his PA.
Wow.
And she sort of with Baby Cow,
Yeah.
a production company. So she was saying she was sending my stuff off to them, just like a couple of directors and a writer from there, and they were interested in if I had a script. I don't. So now I'm working on a script because I've had an idea for ages, but I've just started to actually get on with it. So I'm working on
a sitcom.
Yeah, for like a bigger. So like ideally, I'd get like 6 episodes mainly,
Yeah.
and show them that. So that's what I've got to work on the side of YouTube. I think trying to make my sketches a little bit. They need to be like quality over quantity. Because I had a little phase earlier this year where it was just, I'll just get a video up.
Yeah. Did you feel that pressure? Because I mean, like with XO, there was a bit of a joke about like Steve never uploads or whatever. But I guess you're competing with Geordie and Laurence, who are like just so consistent, and Will's probably even more consistent.
Yeah.
So that's tricky.
For me, it's I can't just talk to a camera. I have to. That's what as you've seen today. I have to try and. I think with my style, I don't know. I've got to make sort of a spectacle. It's not. That's very pretentious, but it's.
But I tell you what, it's one. It's got to feel right for you. That's important. The two, you've got to get people together to do it.
Yeah.
So it does it's a different process. It's not like okay, right, turn it on.
Yeah.
Or like even me now, this is so easy, isn't it? Just turn on the camera and have a chat for a bit.
Yeah.
Like that's not the same thing. And if you start writing shit sketches, then unfortunately people will tell you. So you want to make sure you're doing good stuff.
Yeah, and I think if I find it funny, then I'm happy with that. That's pretty much the only aim.
Yeah.
But based on, like you say about filming, is how to get people together. The sort of the dream would be it becomes their full-time job. So then filming is just a regular occurrence. That would be ideal.
And final question then, for anyone who, and I think it's a scary thing. I'm actually probably have been for you. Go, oh, I think I'm funny, and I want to pursue that as a job or as something you can do with your life. What advice would you give to someone who wants to do something like that?
Well, for me,
that's right. Sorry. So one, like for themselves, but two, like structurally, what like real practical advice would you give?
What I found most comforting was, like I said, I went to this university course thinking, like, I think I'm funny, but I'm probably not funny at all. So I went on it and then realised pretty soon without sounding cocky, I was
funny. I'll say it as well.
I was probably above average in the class.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a good eye for it. So if people think they're funny, if you surround yourself with other people that think they're funny, and you still think you're funny, then that must be a clear indication that you've got something about comedy. You know what you're doing. There's different paths for it. Like you said about Oxford and Cambridge. One of my back in school, he was my best mate. We used to make videos together, like little sketches. He went down that route. He went to Oxford, I think.
Right.
Went into whatever the theatre group or comedy group is, and now he's doing like a run in Edinburgh, like sketches there, getting good reviews. So when people see, like you say, Oxford or Cambridge, Edinburgh run, it's like in you go.
Yeah.
There's TV for you. I'm not saying it's easy. You have to work hard still.
Yeah.
But if you're not sort of that way inclined, if if you just enjoy comedy, I'd say stand-up can be tricky because you're only showing yourself to maybe 30 people, 100 people.
Yeah.
It can really tire you out thinking, am I going anywhere with this? Filming stuff makes it so much easier because there's no limit to who can see it.
Yeah.
So I'd say if you want to break it into comedy, try and put it out there online, whether it's in a podcast, get your personality out there, or like what Will does. That's a way to get more views, is to talk about a topic that's just happened. Like, say for instance, a big YouTube personality had some sort of fetish. You could maybe make a few jokes about that. I'm just spitballing here. That's a way to test your joke writing.
Yes.
Just make a few comments on that, and then jump on the back of it, put it out there.
Leave it. Oh, sorry.
I didn't see where you were going there. I really didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Get yourself out there, basically.
Yeah, don't humiliate them though. Okay.
Yes.
So it's just I think the internet is and you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. I also think with that so one, see it as practice.
Yeah.
I think, and you can film it and not put it out.
That's it.
But you can still kind of watch it and get that feedback.
Yeah.
For yourself, I guess, as well.
I used to film my own stand-up in my room just to see what I did. I'd be like,
I'd love to see that.
oh God, no, it was horrible. But yeah, that's just the way to go, I think, because there's so many different platforms for social media, like Twitter and Instagram. Things can go viral on there.
Yeah. True.
Instagram seems to be a weird place for comedians.
Yeah, maybe stay away from there.
Yeah, but Twitter's a good one. Not TikTok.
No. Yeah, that's another process.
So
That's a whole hour for TikTok as well. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So there you go, Stephen, talking about comedy and all that stuff. If you enjoyed this, there's loads of different episodes of The Process on my YouTube channel, James Allcott channel. It's also on iTunes if you just want to listen to it. Who we got? WillNE. We've got Brian. We've got Laurence.
Ian Holloway.
The Ian Holloway. And I've been recording other ones as well, so they'll be coming soon. We're going to do great stories now. So if that hasn't come out yet, or if it has come out yet, more importantly, go and watch that. Oh yeah, if it doesn't come out, it was shit. Cheers, subscribe, see ya, bye.
Sorry, I did just ramble on shit.
No, that was it.